Jeff, go ahead and use the raise hand tool. If you're just joining us and need access to record, send me a note in the chat window. Get him on here. Good morning, Jeff. Good to see you.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well, thanks. I hope you are.
Okay.
First question will come from Christopher Carter. Go ahead, Christopher.
Morning, Jeff. Wanted to ask just, I know you guys have been very resilient all year long, bouncing back from adversity and different things. What did you see from them coming back from Virginia Tech? I know you guys, practiced today, but what have you seen from them and just their mentality, how they've approached things and just talking with your guys?
I think the main thing is that we've moved on. Every situation is an opportunity to learn. And they certainly, provided us with a lot of stuff that we need to work on, to look and to see. And I thought the mindset was really good when we got together yesterday and we practiced, and I anticipated being good today.
Noah Hiles, go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff, we talked a lot Saturday night after the loss about what you thought went wrong for your team. After getting a chance to watch the film, was there anything else that stood out to you about what Virginia Tech did on the defensive side of the ball?
No, they played really good defense. We scored enough points. We scored 72 points. We scored enough to win. I felt like the reason we didn't win was that we didn't defend them well. And I thought they made us pay for our lack of communication every time, just about every time. But I thought we did enough offensively to win the game.
Thank you.
Corey Christen, go ahead.
Jeff, good morning. You might have heard me ask Hubert this, but I'm going to ask pretty much the same thing here. When I asked Coach Passer about what stands out about your team, he mentioned about the age and the experience and how you guys are older. What are the advantages, in your opinion, of coaching an older team and having an older group of guys to go forward with?
I don't know if there's an advantage. I just think you have to have good players and guys that fit together, guys that are connected, guys that want to be about the right stuff. You can have older guys and all that stuff, and they're not about the right stuff. There could be selfishness, there could be jealousy, there could be any of that stuff. I just think you got to get the right guys that fit, guys that understand how much they need each other. Certainly, if you have some older guys, then you have experience. You're hopeful that it's good experience, and it's experience that helps you get better. But just because you have older guys doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be good.
Thanks, Jeff.
David Teal, go ahead.
Jeff, has Milan recovered from his scare in May? As a head coach, but also as his friend, did you have to rein him in at all as he attempted to come back to work and resume his duties?
Yeah, I did. I was afraid. There's still a little bit of that, to be completely honest with you, because you care about them. And I wasn't here when it happened. I was on a plane actually headed to ACC league meetings down in Florida. As I got up, I guess 20 minutes up in the air, when Wi-Fi connected, I started getting all these texts from my wife. And when I got back and went to go see him and then seeing his recovery, yeah, there was a trying to, like, what are you doing here? Why are you at the office? When he started, where he was able to get back on the court. When he first started coming, he could just come and watch as we were doing workouts. And then every now and then I'd see him just get up and be on the court and trying to tell guys stuff. And I'd, go sit down. And so, yeah, there was a little bit of that. But as he's gone through the recovery process and, handled everything and some of the changes that he's made, thank goodness he's fine.
He mentioned that during a practice, an errant pass back in October caught him flush in the chest. And he said everybody just kind of froze and got silent. What was your reaction? What went through your mind?
I was just, what in the world? The scariest one was when we played Miami here. I think it was the Miami game. Late in the game, his pacemaker went off. And it was Wake Forest. It was the Wake Forest game. And it was like tight, and we were trying to, like they were going to be running an out of bounds play. It was Miami. They were going to be running an out of bounds play. And he got up and the place was going crazy. And his pacemaker went off. He tells me like, yeah, my pacemaker just went off. And I was like, go sit down. Like, go sit down, man. Like, what in the world? Go sit your butt down. It was like maybe 4 seconds left in the game. So you worry about him. But, I think he's good. I mean, the one thing I knew, we said when that pacemaker went off, well, at least we know it works.
Luke DeCock, go ahead.
Hey, Jeff, good morning. Not nearly as interesting as that story, but ACC tournament's going to Greensboro this year, Washington next year. After that, a little uncertain. Is there anywhere the tournament hasn't been in a while or has never been that you would like to see the tournament go?
I mean, the only place, but I don't think we could ever get it, is Madison Square Garden. That's really the only place, but I think other conferences have, I think they have rights to that. But I would like it, I think it's been fine where it's been, the places that it's been, and I don't have an opinion about where it should be.
Would you support if Pittsburgh were to bid to play over at the other arena?
Yeah, sure. Of course. I would love to have it here. This would be a great place to have it because where the arena is, you have unbelievable restaurants. I mean, it's so much to do here. It's a great city. So yeah, I would love to have it here.
Stephen Thompson, go ahead.
Hi, Jeff. There's with Syracuse coming up, there's kind of a rich history between these two programs and schools on the hardwood that kind of predates your time there. The Big East was a big time for those two to kind of engage in a big rivalry. What do you remember about? Do you have any memories of those games or watching those two teams play that from that era?
I mean, the only memory I have, to be completely honest with you, of a Syracuse Pitt game was when I was the head coach at Oklahoma. It was 2009, and we were going to be playing Syracuse in the Sweet 16. And I remember watching both games when Pitt and Syracuse played, because it always seemed like Jamie Dixon did a good job against the zone. So just trying to figure out ways to play against the zone. But I don't really remember from my childhood a lot of Pitt Syracuse games. I don't.
Thanks.
Brett Friedlander, go ahead.
Hey, Jeff.
Brett.
As a guy who's been around the ACC for a long time, you've seen the perception of this league nationally change. Why do you think the ACC is held in such low regard right now nationally, especially as it relates to you, NC State, and especially Clemson in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, it's interesting. For me, I only hear it that it's down when you talk about those teams. You don't hear it when you talk about Virginia. And maybe it's because of what Virginia has done nationally during the time that Tony's been there. He's done an unbelievable job. I mean, they've maybe been the premier program if you look at accomplishment, throughout definitely probably the last, 8 to 10 years. I don't really understand it, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if that, Coach Smith, Coach K, Coach Williams, I don't know if it's because they're not here anymore. So the national reputation of that, Coach Pitino, same thing. But I don't really get it. When you look at the success that we've had in the NCAA tournament, when you look at the success we've had in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, if you look at what our guys have done nationally, as far as coaching, as far as players, as far as talent, as far as draft picks, all of those things, it's more than anyone. And so I've never really understood it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't think it helps when we, have our own network. And there I was watching when we were at Virginia Tech the night before, I'm watching our own network. And one of the first questions that comes up is it perception or reality that the ACC is down? And I never see that on the Big Ten network. I watch the Big Ten network a lot because one of my best friends is coaches in that league. And so I'm watching them, and man, they are always pumping the Big Ten, always. And I think it's a really good league. But I think ours is too. And I wish the people that represent us would have the respect and pump our league and be positive instead of looking at negative things.
Thanks, Jeff. Best of luck the rest of the way, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Jeff, thank you for the time. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Take
See you
care.
next week.